Hey everybody, welcome back to Tackle on My Mind. What's on my mind today? We're going to go over the schedule for the Toledo Area Kayak Anglers League. Another fireside chat here for you. My last video, if you watched that, I went over, kind of recapped last year's schedule, last year's tournaments, how I did in each of those. So for this video, I'm going to run down the schedule of this season's 2025 Toledo Area Kayak Anglers League TAKAL tournament schedule. Maybe give you a little bit of what I'm kind of looking forward to that, but maybe just give you a little bit of information about the tournament as well. So make sure, watch through the end, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, share the video, leave me some comments, and let's get started. So to kick it off, TAKAL this year, kind of an unofficial start will be March. For March and April, we're going to do kind of an online tournament. Again, we do everything through Facebook, but you know, kind of go to our TAKAL page, see all the rules for that. That's Toledo Area Kayak Anglers League. That's on Facebook, all the rules and everything like that. This is called the Big Bass Bounty. Through March and April, we picked 3 bodies of water. That's the Inland Lake and Maumee Bay State Park, Metzger's Marsh area, and then the east-west harbors. For those 2 months combined, it's the biggest bass for each of those bodies of water. So you could win for each one of those. You could get you know, the prize money for east-west biggest bass over those 2 months, for the Inland Lake at Maumee Bay State Park, and then also for Metzger's Marsh. So check that out on our. So that's kind of an unofficial start to our season. Our official start to our season is April 26th. I got my schedule here on my phone if I miss anything, but April 26th is kind of a special tournament. This is our charity tournament. This year's tournament is for the Adopt America Network. Check their website. I'll leave a link in that down in the description. It's a nonprofit organization that helps find permanent placement and permanent homes for kids in foster care. So a little bit about our charity tournaments. We do an entry fee, all entry fees. You can give a little bit more money if you like, but all of that goes directly to our charity. And then I've been working over the last year kind of collecting different prizes from different groups. Go to our Facebook page, you'll see a lot of them that I've collected already, but we get gift cards, we get coupons, we get baits, all kinds of different things donated, and that's what goes into our prize pool. This is at East-West Harbors out in Port Clinton. You've heard me talk a lot about that in the past. It's a great fishery, a lot of grass, as we find typical here in Northwest Ohio. It's going to be spring. A lot of times you can just load up if the conditions are right. Hopefully last year we had to move the tournament date because it was about 20-mile-an-hour wind, so hopefully we won't get this year. But yeah, that sets up your typical grass fishery. Shallow water, basically. It's kind of like fishing 2 big grass flats. There's some different. West Harbor has, well, they both have a lot of marinas too, so you can fish some marinas, different styles there, but predominantly it's fishing grass. So have your chatterbaits, your lipless crankbaits, your hybrid hunters out, your spinner baits, you know, those typical good grass fishing lures help you out there at East Harbor. From there we move on to May 4th, we're doing Nettle Lake and Lake Losswan. We've done these as separate events in the past. Nettle Lake, last 2 years we did as kind of separate events. Last year really did not produce a lot of fish for us, so these 2 lakes are about 20 miles or 20 minutes from each other, so really close. So we're going to combine the 2 of them. Losswan, a lot of grass there too. Nettle's got a little bit of everything. That can produce some big fish there. Should be kind of fun combining the 2 of them. You know, use some strategy there, see which one you want to pick. From there, moving down, May 14th, this is going to be our first Wednesday night event. This is going to be Silver Rock Quarry in Gibsonburg, Ohio, Aldrich Pond, which you can look up there, and back to Metzger's Marsh. We did this last year in August, I believe it was. Not probably the best time for those 3 bodies of water. They seem to do better in the spring. I know Silver Rock has got some big smallmouth and some good-sized largemouth, but it's a great big old limestone quarry. A lot of smallmouth pulled out of there, especially in the spring is a good time for that. Aldrich Pond later in the year gets really covered in weeds and grass. It's a lot better in the spring also, so we started to move that event to May. Going from there, we have another May event. This is called Mom plus Howard. We kind of changed that a little bit from past. The Mom stands for, again, Maumee Bay. That's that inland lake at Maumee Bay. There is a ramp in the city of Oregon, Ohio, that kind of opens up to a bay and actually opens up right into Lake Erie that you can fish. And then Meineke Marina, which is a marina right off of Lake Erie. Some guys have, I think that our tournament has been won off of Meineke Marina the last 2 years. And then we added, we dropped Metzger's Marsh from this event where it's been in the past, and we added Howard's Marsh, which is a little closer to the other areas, and it's a new kind of opening that they at Metro Park that they opened up within the last 4 years, I believe it was. I fished it once, just briefly. I know some other guys have fished it. There's some bass there. Just give another option. You know, pick one of those if you think you have time. Again, it's a Wednesday nighter, so we got 4 hours, so you're probably not going to be doing a lot of moving around, but give you a lot of options where you want to try fishing. Next event after that is May 28th, and that we're going to move. This is also new bodies of water. We're going to go up to Fulton County area. We got Fulton Pond, which you can find if you Google that on a map. It's just a little pond. Got some nice little bass in there. And then the Delta Reservoir, which I've heard a lot of good things about, and Wasion Reservoir, which I know some people catch some bass out of there. Two of those are going to be your typical deep water reservoirs, so you know, going to fish a little bit different, a lot of riprap. You know, if you're good at finding some deep water fish, probably do a little bit better there. And then Fulton Pond is just a little grassy little pond lake that, you know, you fish your typical grass lures in there. I fish that quite a bit. Right now, if I was telling you which one I was going to fish, it'd probably be Fulton Pond, just because of my experience there. And then we're moving on, June 8th, we're back to our east-west harbor. I've talked a lot about that already. Again, grass lake, grass harbor, grass body of water. There's a lot of fun loaded with a lot of bass there. June 18th, Beaver Creek Reservoir. This is a reservoir, serves the city of Clyde. We fished this one last year. Quick backstory, it's the one where I almost sunk my kayak. I think we were a little later in the year last year. We had some tough conditions because we had a nasty storm wanting to come through. We got lucky from that. Again, it's a deep water reservoir. There's, you know, if you're good at deep water fishing, there's also some shallow, there's a big shallow flat in there, and then riprap bank all the way around. So supposedly there's some smallmouth in there also. You know, maybe you get a chance at both of those, fishing that one. I'm just looking forward to catching some fish in that one. I'm probably going to do my typical, throwing some crankbaits, deep diving crankbaits, you know, along the riprap bank, and maybe try a few other things just to try to catch some fish in that event this year. From there, June 22nd, we moved to the Blanchard River. We normally stay in the Findlay area, but you know, if you want to venture out further, we kind of start in Findlay as our takeoff spot, and then you know, you can go from there. A lot of smallmouth. There's some largemouth in the Blanchard River. It's a fun little, you know, river to hopefully around here. You know, we always depends on the rain we get, what the river's flowing like, but I always enjoy that one. Fishing typical shallow river creeks, looking for smallmouth. Then we go up to La Swan again. That's in the northwest corner of the state of Ohio. There's a few chain of lakes there. Again, you can pick whichever lake you got. And we're going to do the same thing we did last year with this, where you get to pick one lure. You got to stick with that lure throughout the day. We kind of check your tackle before you leave, kind of word of honor, you know, and test your integrity. But you get to fish that one lure for the, you know, 4 hours of the tournament, and it's all the fish you can catch above that 12-inch minimum we have. Last year I said, what the heck, I'm going to throw a frog around. I got a few fish. I missed a lot of fish. I wish I had been able to use that follow-up lure, but I wasn't able to do that. But I had a lot of fun. Of course, the guy who won it all was fishing a stick worm. That's probably the best way to go. I might go with that again, or I might pick out my hybrid hunter and we'll see what we can catch with that. I love fishing that thing. Followed that, we're at the Rest Haven Wildlife Area. Man, this is a chain. I think there's 10 little bodies of water there. Predominantly, we fished 2 of them. I think we had 11 or 12 guys fish this event last year. English fished this event last year. One of them did not fish Pond 8, I believe it is. The rest of us did, and this was the one you'd heard me talk about. It was hurricane conditions, and a lot of limits caught, a lot of big fish caught. There's just a lot of options in this area. It's a fun place to fish. Again, conditions are right, which I think that's good for anything. I fished a lot of topwater in this. Last year, that's all I fished. But you can also go around and fish chatterbait. You can fish some jigs, you can fish some crankbaits, fish spinnerbaits. There's a lot of options here. Fish your finesse style. So looking forward to that event as always. Then we're going to return to the Lima reservoirs down in Lima, Ohio. There's a number of reservoirs there. It's again, pick your reservoir. And I know there's some deep water reservoirs, your typical deep water city reservoirs in Ohio. Some that are a little shallower, some that are more lake-like. Wide variety of things there. I'm thinking I'm probably going to go back to the same one I fished last year. It's good crankbait. Had fun throwing a crankbait around. I like throwing a crankbait around if I can, so that may be where I return to. And we're going to go on August 6th. You can go to Cullen Park. That's a boat ramp in the northern kind of Toledo area that opens up into the mouth of the Maumee River, so you can go down the Maumee River if you want. Also opens up in Lake Erie. There's a few other harbors. There's some boat marinas around there and things like that. That per tournament, per angler, per fish catch last year was one of our better ones. I'm looking forward to that again. It's a little later in the year. This year might be a little bit more grass grown. I know there's some lily pad availability that can grow up. It just opens up again some possibilities, and it's a good time. That is followed by, we're going to finally hit the Maumee River. We're in Toledo, Ohio. We're right on the Maumee River. There are smallmouth in the Maumee River. There's some largemouth in the Maumee River. We have not had an event there yet. And, really kind of doesn't make sense that we're in this area and we're not fishing the Maumee River. We're going to open it up from a certain stretch, probably right below the dam in Grand Rapids, Ohio, all the way to, there's a Orleans Park in Perrysburg, Ohio. Might reduce that a little bit, but kind of might extend the hours for that one. But that's also going to be a team tournament. So you get a partner, the two of you, best 5 fish between the two of you. Each person has to catch one. Kind of looking forward to that. Again, weather conditions, how much rain we've got or haven't got might determine a lot of things of where you're going to fish. But I've caught a few Maumee smallmouth out of my kayak. I've caught a lot of Maumee smallmouth just wading around. So, maybe I'll just jump in the kayak and go to one of the spots where I usually wade and then just kind of do that. Hard to say yet, but it could be a lot of fun. That is the last event of the regular snow. Yes, it is. That is the last event of our regular season then. That again was August 17th, if I didn't say that. And then we go into the tackle box. That is our season ending tournament of champions type of thing. We don't use that term though. We like to call it the tackle box. That's where your AOI can be decided. Come right down to the wire. That again is back at our east-west harbors. I've said so much about that. It's a great place. So I think this, I'm really looking forward to this season. I got some new ideas for myself. Got some new rods I'm going to be fishing this year. You're going to hear more about that in another video soon to come. I'm going to try some new rigging on my kayak. Hopefully getting some new videos. I'm getting a little better at doing that. Get some content out to you for all the tournaments. And then just looking back, just get back and fishing. So that's, you know, that's the tackle tournament. For myself, I've kind of looking at the schedule of all the leagues we have here in Ohio, and I sat down and I think if, you know, I worked out some things, I could possibly fish about 8 to 10 events on top of the tackle schedule of the different leagues we have here in Ohio. We got the Ohio Kayak Open Series, we got the Cincinnati Kayak Fishermen, we got the Ohio Kayak Fishing League, we got the Central Ohio Kayak Fishing League, we got a Caveman League, and we got a Kayak Anglers of Northeast Ohio League. Between all of those, I think I can get at least one for each of those, maybe two for other, and my pie in the sky goal for me for 2025 is finishing the money in at least one event in every league in Ohio. So, is it possible? Well, sure, it's possible. First, I got to make sure I can get to some of them, and then, you know, I just got to fish well and, you know, do my best. So hopefully that'll happen. If not, I'm still going to have fun meeting some new people. I want to, you know, support some of these other leagues. They've been nicely supported us and stuff like that. Cincinnati, I'm the leader of the Cincinnati Kayak Fishing, and OKF always donates to our charity. Did last year, did again this year. Like to, you know, get back, and they got a charity event this also that Cincinnati Kayak does. I'd like to fish that. And, you know, again, a lot of things come scheduled. Sometimes they're back to back. There's some tournaments I won't be able to fish. I'd love to fish, like, you know, East West Harbor's OKF's East West Harbor event, but we have an event right the next day, and there's other things that could be a lot of travel, so I might have to, you know, back off on some of those. But anyway, that's my big goal for the year, is to finish in the money in at least one tournament in every league. But my goal, stepping down from that, is to at least fish one tournament in at least every one of our leagues here in Ohio. So again, if you like kind of this breakdown, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the video, leave me a comment, leave me what you think. Check out the description. I'll leave some information about what we had and some information, some new stuff I got coming up pretty soon. Stay tuned for the next video. I got a big announcement coming for that. So hope you have the rest of your day, wherever you may be watching this. Thanks for joining me.